Hello and welcome to another episode of Aaron Plays Technic. I'm here on the Tekkit server where I have been for a while, and I believe I showed this to you guys in one video, and I'm using the old school dispenser method 5-minute timer to harvest the reeds instead of one of the Red Power 2 timers, which would probably be a lot easier. But I haven't refilled this at all since I showed it in that one video. I don't know how long it's been, but I've been on the server a lot. I think it's been at least a week. And this is how much is still in there. So if you ever think about using something like this, it really lasts a long time. And I actually just recorded an episode, and I'll show you in a second. And then I go back to watch it, and I notice that I made a huge mistake. So I'm gonna man up, and I'm gonna own up to it, and I'm gonna show you what I did. I was making an auto harvesting melon farm, and if I can find it, it should be right down here. Here it is. What's wrong with this picture? That's the question. It is a very, very obvious thing. So I did the episode, and I only did the first four, and I did that whole row of melons. And I did a little bit of testing during the video, and then I come back up here and I do this side, and then I look and I go, wait a minute, something is not right. And if you'll notice, I planted seeds here. Whenever that thing ticks every 2 minutes, it actually takes the seeds out of the ground. So you definitely don't want to put a block breaker this close to anything that you have planted. So like this wouldn't work for a wheat farm unless you triggered it manually, in which case what's the point? Like you might as well just auto flush it with water from a piston or something like that. So I'll go ahead and explain how this works as I fix it. I can't believe I did this. This is like, it's ridiculous. And I'm sure I'll hear about it later on. So basically, you've got your block breakers, you've got your redstone tube, and you've got your pneumatic tube. And when you set this up, you only need to put pneumatic tubes, or pardon me, you only need to put redstone tubes where the block breakers are, where they require power, and to transmit power to those block breakers from your redstone source. So we'll just put one right here since it's already here. Let's see if I can get it on the block facing the right way. And then the redstone tube is going to go this way. And the rest of it can be all pneumatic tubes, because the way they work, since I don't need power past this point, I can just use regular tubes right here. Now on this end, this is where I'm going to put my timer and stuff, and I have to put this jacketed wire, and I can put it anywhere. I can put it on top, on either side, but since my block breakers are going to go on this row, I put it right here. We'll say I put my timer, and I'll do it differently now than I did in the last video. I'll put my timer here, run my red alloy wire here. Well, if you notice, this doesn't connect. You actually have to put the wire on the block underneath this jacketed wire. And when I do that, you see it connected, and now the thing blinks. And you see the watermelon going down the tube there, because I already have a valid destination on the other end. So this doesn't have to be so far away, and I'm not sure if that will hook directly into... I don't think it'll hook directly into this. It will. Maybe because I still have wire on the ground there, yeah. See, if you put it next to it, it doesn't work. But once you put the wire underneath, it connects. So I'm going to set this thing on about 2 minutes, because watermelons don't grow all that quickly, and it'll pulse all of them every 2 minutes, so I figure it'll be a pretty steady supply. So if we look in the house, what I've done, let me go ahead and reroute this since I'm here. Alright, so that goes down through the wall. And it ends up, actually right now it goes to this chest, and it goes to the energy condenser. I don't know how I broke the block behind it before I broke the block. So with Buildcraft pipes in this setup, you can see it branches off and goes around. Buildcraft, when it hits this junction, it's a random or a 50-50 or whatever it is, but blocks will go both directions. Well, with Red Power 2, I believe it takes the shortest path, so everything that I put down ended up in this chest, not the energy condenser. So really, I'm going to remove that pipe after the episode. If that's a cover back there, I need to get it right now because I don't want to lose it. If you notice, I put covers right here. What am I destroying? Those things are really hard to hit sometimes. Oh, there it went. If you notice, now that the cover's gone, it tries to connect to this pipe, but it can't. But it looks like it's trying. So remember a few episodes ago I was talking about how Grumpy told me you could use these covers to separate pipes and wires. It's specifically for Red Power. If I put this here, then you notice it no longer tries to connect to that Buildcraft pipe right there. And if I put another one, say on top of it, I should be able to put a pipe right there and they don't connect. So that's pretty handy since you only have one sort of pneumatic tube in this. One sort of pneumatic tube. I don't know what I'm getting stuck on. Maybe it's just lag from whatever. There we go. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, it was one of those things where it didn't take it away. Since there's only one sort of tube, redstone tube and pneumatic tube, I mean, they'll connect, and, if they can connect to each other, they will. So if you put the panels in between them, they won't connect to each other, which is very good and very handy. So everything is going to pump into this box just like the cactus and just like the reeds do. I still call them reeds. Whenever I come over here to fill up on watermelons to eat, I'll probably just toss a stack in the energy condenser. But basically that's it. It's pretty easy to do. Block breakers aren't that expensive. I think you have to have 6 cobblestone, an iron pick, redstone, and a piston. So you don't really even have to have diamonds for it. And block breakers will take whatever block you put in front of them. Whoa, let me get out of here. And that block can be obsidian. It'll take this red alloy wire. It'll take this jacketed wire. It'll take everything I put in front of it so far. Granted, I haven't tried everything, but everything I have tried, it picked up. So that can be pretty handy if you need some obsidian and you don't have diamond. Might be kind of tedious, but you could bring a timer, one piece of this, some red alloy wire in a chest, and you could get your obsidian, move the thing, get more obsidian, and you could work it out. It's almost as easy as pouring a mold to make your nether portal, but if you need to use the obsidian to make something else, it could come in handy. That's all I'm saying. So, see, my other row of block breakers is going to go here. Melons spawn here, and plants get planted over here. So, at the beginning of the episode, I actually widened this by 1 because I knew I needed more space. And then I didn't use all of that space for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, it's an easy fix. I just move it back, and then I'll make it all pretty. After the episode, I'll go get some smooth stone or something and, you know, make it look better than it does now. So all I got to do is fill that with water and then plant my plants. If you notice, this melon is gone because we've been over here for a couple of minutes, and I bet you it's in the chest already. Yep, melons, bam. So I was hoping to feed the energy condenser with half of them and keep half of them for myself, but since the chests are not the same distance from that pipe, I don't think it's going to work. I believe if I ran it over 1 and then split it, it probably would, because it would be an equal distance. But I'm not really that worried about it, so I'm not going to mess with it. The other couple things that I went into in the other video, if you see this up here, this is a bunch of cover strips and glass panels, and I'm gonna try it out. I don't know if I like it already, but I'm gonna pour lava on the ceiling and use lava for light in here. I didn't like the lamps, and I had a couple of spots where mobs could spawn, so I figure if I put lava right above me, then it should be an okay light level on the floor. But I don't know if I like it or not, so I'm going to play with it for a couple days and see how it goes. I also added another fuel tank, and I went over there and I filled up the oil tank again and refined it and filled it up. I haven't used a lot of fuel yet, and it lasts so long I'm not going to worry about the rest of the oil for now. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it over there. And I also made a little safe room, and I can't remember if I had done this before the last video or not, but basically my home is in there. If I slash home, that's where I go, and I set my warp in there as well, so that if any of the guys come over to do an episode, they end up in there instead of out front where there are no torches. And if it's nighttime, they could end up next to a creeper, and that would be a bad situation. Grumpy made me a helmet, quantum suit helmet, so I can breathe underwater, so I don't have to mess with that. And I made myself a dark matter axe, which I'm pretty sure it'll use redstone for power. It'll definitely use coal or alchemical coal. Basically, it destroys everything within a radius of whatever block you hit. So if I right click the leaves, you see it left those leaves because they're outside the radius of it. It makes a pretty cool noise, but I'm sure after a while it gets annoying. But everything ends up in a little ball, and then when you pick it up, it gives you the items. So I needed a bunch of wood, and I hadn't messed around with EE that much, so I figured, I'll just go ahead and make this dark matter axe. And I heard it was pretty cool, so I figured I'd check it out, and it is pretty cool. I don't know if it was worth as many diamonds and as much coal as it took, but I'll definitely use it to harvest all that wood. So that is going to do it for this episode. I think we're recording one tomorrow with a new guy, and I forget his name, and I don't want to mess it up. So we'll meet him in the next video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.